Hey everyone, we're here with Sunny Jain from Sun Genomics.
Hi Alan, thanks for having me. I'm excited to continue talking about the microbiome.
Yes, and now we're going to be talking about what exactly the microbiome is, and also kind of, especially in the most recent years, it's kind of now we've started to analyze it more and understand how it's applicable to our lives.
Yeah, so the first thing that food or nutrition encounters as it's going through our digestive process for absorption is the microbiome, believe it or not. So there are microbes living inside our bodies. There's trillions of them, if not more microbial cells in our bodies than there are human cells.
That's always crazy one to think about.
I know. I mean, we didn't know this maybe 5-10 years ago, or fully respect how much contribution that these microbes have to our own human physiology. And what we've learned is that there's trillions of these microbes inside of our bodies, and they have their own DNA, as we have our own DNA, and that DNA is called the microbiome.
So then as we understand the DNA in the microbiome, like what does that end up telling us?
Well, we can now understand through this evolution of technology that's occurred, where you can analyze DNA and large amounts of DNA really, really fast. And by doing so, instead of having to isolate individual microbes on a petri dish that you might have learned in school, we can now just take a small little sample, isolate the DNA, and then just define every single DNA base pair that's coming out into a particular microbe. And that gives you a full idea of all the microbes in that sample and in your gut. And those things play a large role in digestion, nutritional absorption, and even chronic conditions.
And then how does this, like the size of this is about, it's like kind of like what's located right under our like lungs and right above kind of our pelvis. That whole area is kind of like the gut, the microbiome.
Yeah, so right past the stomach, you enter into the small intestine. And the small intestine, as you can see in the graphic here, is a very long stretch of organ. And through that entire stretch, you have certain changes in pH, you have changes in different categories of microbes that are present, and there's different nutritional absorption occurring across that stretch. And then you enter into the large colon or the large intestine, and you have different microbes that live there, and you have different digestive and absorption happening there.
That's crazy. So there's a different pH and a different microbes that are living right where the stomach meets the small intestine versus in the large intestine versus in the middle of the small intestine. As in, it's just most of the nutrients are getting absorbed at the beginning of the small intestine. As in, that's kind of like where the food is most like fresh and ready to start absorbing into the blood. And then like the microbes will change throughout the small and the large intestine then.
Yeah, and you can capture all that now through simple testing, through DNA testing, and you'll be able to see what microbe was present anywhere through this entire stretch. And by being able to see that and understand that, you can understand your digestive capability and what would be needed to improve that.
And we're going to get into that in our next video about what exactly we can do to improve the gut microbiome. Awesome. Thanks everyone for checking out this video with Sun Genomics, and catch us on another video soon. Thanks.
Thanks.